Welcome back, and we're shifting gears at this time as we sit down to have a conversation with visiting vocalist and performer Cherish Touche. She's originally from Trinidad, and she's here doing a special vocal training workshop for persons who are interested. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Now, it's such a great opportunity to have you here, and I just want to start off by having people learn a bit more about your own background. So you're studying music, is it?
Oh, well, actually, I finished.
Uh-huh.
I did certificate level and bachelor's in music at University of the West Indies.
Yeah.
My focus was in voice and percussion. Apart from the academic side of it, I've been performing since I was like 4. I started with singing, and then when I went into primary school, it had a little bit more range of things to choose from. So I did a little bit of drama, not so much drama until I got to high school. Trinidad has an annual competition called Best Village. It's more folk enthused. I took part in that when I was in high school. I was part of the choir in high school, and then I got into steel pan, and I was in steel pan from Form 1 straight up to when I graduated in Form 5. And then I applied to UE. I got in. I did 2 years of the certificate degree. I took a year off because I needed that mental break because it was a lot. I needed
Reevaluate if this is your
a
life.
little space in between. And I started with the degree. I enrolled myself in UE Percussion and UE Arts Chorale. I'm still an alumni member of that group. And we were actually here last year in Belize with Jessel Murray. And don't know if y'all would remember.
They were on the show. A group, a portion of the group was on the show,
Yeah, so that was my first time here. But I performed with them. I started doing a lot of theater. Right now, I am a member of the National Theatre Arts Company of Trinidad and Tobago under Ministry of Culture and the Arts. And I've done a good bit of the stage stuff. I think theater more or less got me into a wider bracket of performance. So I did shows like Beauty and the Beast. I did Aida, Peter Pan. Earlier this year, I wouldn't say earlier this year, like a month and a half ago, I was Maria in West Side Story.
Oh.
So yeah, West Side Story was the last major thing that I've done, and now I'm here doing some vocal workshops.
Cherish, for every little girl that picks up a mic and starts singing, you just explained the life that they dream of. Being on stage, participating in musicals or theater. For you personally, I'm sure at some point in time people told you, listen, this is not a career path.
Oh, yeah.
This is a hobby. What has been your motivation to keep you going, despite the fact that everybody will say music won't pay, arts won't pay, and it just isn't viable?
Okay. I think exactly what you just said, people telling me that it can't work, that my main motivation was, I'll show you that it can work. So that was when I was coming into at the end of my teenage years, I was getting a lot of it because that's when you really have to solidify yourself. Yes, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. And ironically enough, when I first started in high school, I wanted to do pediatric medicine. And it was either be pediatric medicine or be a vet. Either one of those two, because I love kids and I love animals. So those two things was on the top of the list. And when I was finishing up Form 5, one of the subjects that I wanted to do wasn't available. At that point in time, it wasn't available as a Form 6 subject. So I said, well, I'll just do music instead. And I think that same week, I applied. And I have to thank God that I have such a great mom. And she was so understanding. And when I told her, okay, Mom, I decided that I just want to switch gears and just go in the music thing. And she said, you sure? And as long as she knew that I was sure, she said, okay.
That makes a difference too.
Yeah, but it was mostly people saying that it can't work.
Yeah.
It was the most certain motivation that I had.
Is it the same in Trinidad? I would have thought because Trinidad has such a bustling industry for soca music and for the arts, that it would be a little bit easier. Like Belize, we don't have an international platform like Trinidad has soca Jamaica has reggae, and so it has an export
Yeah.
value. We're still working on getting our Paranda and our Punta out.
Yeah.
But is it equally as hard, even though it is an established industry for
I
soca?
would say yes. And I'm not dogging soca at all because that's part of me because I'm from the island that it was born in, right? But I really don't wanna make the song bad, but I think I think every country, the same little negative energies of funding and sponsorship and anything outside of soca is not really considered a forefront. Like I have a lot of friends locally who do rap, they do underground rap, they do R&B, they do jazz, and they are phenomenal vocalists, and they don't get a lot of play in terms of like shows, people coming to shows or people buying their music because it's more or less one track mind with regards to these genres.
Interestingly enough, we had Samantha J last week, and she's talking about doing pop and coming out of Jamaica. And she spoke of still having an appreciation for pop, even though people just have an expectation that you would do reggae if you come from Jamaica. Do you ever feel pressured to go into more the mainstream sounds coming out of Trinidad? Somebody tells you, well, why don't you just, write something that's more calypso, even if you don't want to go soca?
I think that it's good to more or less have a little touch of the genres that are mostly known from your country, but I don't think that means that you need to stick to that genre alone. I more or less grew up on jazz, like Judy Garland and Fred Astaire and Frank Sinatra and all those old, so I'm more or less an old soul. Like I was really into the grown folk music before I was old enough to understand what it meant. But I think that it more or less depends on the person. But being forced into what you think you should sound like because of what other people from your country do, I don't think that that's the best thing to follow.
I wanted to talk about your formal education because there is that perception. It's not only the negative energy that you speak about, but there's a perception that singing is singing. There's no science to it. You're either blessed with it or you ain't. And I think that there's a misconception that you even need a degree for it. I remember my challenges when I did some of my CXCs in art, and I had issues there. We were wasting money on that. Could you talk to us about the value of putting a formal structure around an expressive art and some of the things that you probably will not get by not having the degree that you have benefited from that you're going to share?
Okay. I really think that it's mandatory right now. It's mandatory to have that paper that says, yes, I have this certain level of education, especially depending on which area of performing arts you're going to go into. Say, for instance, you're going to go into music education. It's necessary for you to have the degree because you can't go in front of a classroom of children and just going out on a whim. Like there's a structure and a syllabus to follow. As far as my perspective on it, I just wanted the knowledge, and I know there are a lot of things that I could still learn. Like I'm still young, but I truly believe that the degree, associate's degree, diploma, certificate, conservatory degree, anything like that is necessary. Even like it's good to have the knowledge. Because you could be an entrepreneur, you could bless yourself with your own business just based on the information that you've received from the degree that you chose. And my degree in particular, we had so many areas to choose from. We have voice, we have percussion, we have steel pan, we have woodwind, that's like flute, and we have brass instruments, all of these arenas, and then there's music education and music therapy. So there's so many things that you could choose from and just branch off, but that fundamental knowledge is needed.
So perhaps the best sales pitch for that is telling us how you benefited as a performer in pursuing this as your educational path.
Okay. I had a hard time, like in my first year of any degree, I think they don't put the first year to your GPA. That's more or less like a standard, let's see how far you are kind
Yeah.
of thing. So the first year was a breeze, fly through easy. And then the second year, I was strongly considering why I'm doing this to myself because it was so hard. But things like learning how to write out your own score, composing your own melodies for a band or for a solo instrument, learning how to breathe, learning how to hold yourself upright in front of an audience, like little things like that come a long way. And for me especially, I more or less kept all the things that I learned because Mr. Murray, Justin Murray, is like one of my main mentors for performance. Like he brought me up literally because I was really lost in my second year. Like I didn't know what to do, and I spoke to him, and he was more or less a guiding force for me throughout my next 2 years of UE, and he helped me to understand not only other people's voices but my voice as well, to know what I can't sing, what I should sing, what I should stay away from, and those kind of things like that. Because everybody can't sing every genre. There are some people that can, and I applaud.
They're very blessed.
Yeah, I applaud them for it. But I know certain things like soca. I know I can't sing soca. I can't. I don't think I have the vocal energy.
Yeah.
And I really admire people who could do 3 and 4 shows a night and still be good in the morning.
So that's our first lesson, vocal energy.
Yeah.
What is that?
Just vocal energy, not getting vocally tired on stage.
Okay.
Like, there's like when you hear somebody and they start on 100 on stage, and somewhere in between the set, like you're saying, they hear the voice getting tired. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kevin joked about it, but some people really do believe it. You know, you're either born a singer or you're not. What is it that every person can learn to become a better vocalist?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it comes with a certain mindset. Like, there are a lot of people that are just blessed with an amazing voice, and they don't really have to do that much work. Then there are people that have good voices but need a little bit of training to get further. And then there are people that need a lot of work, but as long as they put their mind to it and you welcome the information, it might take a little more time than some people, but you'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're. I'm going back to the earlier part of the conversation where you're saying you have some very good friends who are do underground rap.
Yeah.
And they're very good vocalists.
Yeah.
You know, in Belize, there is this perception that people who do rap, for example, aren't vocalists. Could you tell us the value of? And I know it's absolutely not true. But that's the reality. Not only Belize, I would assume everywhere that it's
I have heard that back home as well. Yeah.
And could you wipe that away for us and tell us why a rap artist is a vocalist and what value it would have for somebody who is a rap artist to in fact come and benefit from what you're offering in this workshop?
Okay. Well, I would say that rap artists are vocalists. Apart from the basic answer is the use of the voice. But it's all about breath control. I think that rappers have a lot more breath control than people that use melodies, like sing melodies, because they have bars upon bars of words that they rattle off in seconds. And that takes a lot of breath control. So from the perspective of singer of melodies versus a rapper, both of them more or less follow the same breath. But I think that with regards to them knowing where to place their voice, because they have 3 different registers, knowing where to place your voice and how to breathe to get all the words out, like those little things.
Different registers? Sorry.
Registers.
What does that mean? Cash registers, like when you go to the borders and you...
Vocal registers, you have your head voice, chest, and where people shouldn't really sing, which is right here. But this is the least common one. Throat, this is the least common one because this could damage your vocal cords. But 3 different registers in your body that it could produce sound from.
And we're getting previews of what
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
workshop will entail. But it's also called the art of performing. And here is our struggle. With great voices, people can have great voices, but to just fall flat in the performance part of it, you know? What do you find is the biggest error that people have when they go on stage? Even if they have an excellent voice, what are they missing?
I think that, and this is from me observing people generally, a lot of people don't warm up before they go on stage. And that is key for longevity of your voice. Also knowing what works for you, because there are some people that would prefer to just stand in front of the mic, and there are other people that would prefer to have the mic in their hand and moving around the stage. But the differentiation between trying to engage the audience as opposed to trying to just come on stage with real energy and have no choice but to look at the person, but when you watch them, it's like, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think that those are things that people really need to remember, warming up especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are your tips on engaging the audience?
Well, for me, I try to have a conversation. So I don't really talk that much, but I would use little things that would get your attention. Like, hi, how are you going? Anybody here? What's going on? Hey, I see you eating. The food tasting good. Like those little things,
Yeah.
like so the audience will know that you're talking to them.
Yeah.
And not at them. Like, cause like coming on stage and shouting, unless the atmosphere calls for it,
Yeah.
is really not necessary.
Yeah.
How much of it is personality? Because if I'm a quiet dude and I'm going on, you know, I'm not the Capleton. I'm not going to jump the entire performance and be running up and down stage. But how much of it is performance?
Personality.
A personality. Most of it is just personality.
I think that it should be 90% performance and 10% personality.
Wow.
But as me,
Wow.
me personally, that's
But should
what
you
I
be
think.
should you be true to who you are
Yeah.
as an artist, and who you are as an artist is your personality.
Yeah, but that's true. But you also need to remember that you're performing,
Yeah.
and you're not performing for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes when people end up performing for themselves, like, oh, I really like this song. I've made this mistake many times, because just because you really like the song, and I've said this with some people that I've worked with before, just because you really love the song doesn't mean that is the song for you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just get into their head, and then when they sing it, it just falls flat.
Yeah.
Because they're singing it for themselves. But the performance is most important.
Yeah.
I remember one of my vocal teachers used to tell me, don't fall in love with your singing. And I never used to understand what he meant, because it's like, what do you mean, don't fall in love? And then when I got older, I realized that he meant, don't forget that you're performing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't get lost in the song just because, oh, good, I really like this part.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You just have to remember that it's still a performance,
Yeah.
and it's not just you.
Yeah.
It's not just for you.
Yeah, and showing your personality is great for day-to-day interactions, but standing in front of an audience, your job is to engage them, to make sure they're enjoying everything that you bring as well.
Yeah.
So that's the non-natural part of it.
Like, just to create an example, Beyonce. Beyonce on stage is not Beyonce when she in an interview. So I think another thing that performers need to do is just find a separation to become this person on stage. I know that there are some people that can be the same person that they are in real life
Yeah.
and on stage, because that works. It works for them. But there are some people who literally need to create a character for them on stage so that they can step out of themselves and create that dream world in the performance, of almost like creating a space for the audience to enjoy.
Nice.
Is there a different expectation for performing when you're performing in the Caribbean as opposed to when you're performing for a wider international audience? Or is there one language for performing which will translate to any audience?
I think that there is one language, because performing is on a wide level internationally, performing, everybody expects you to perform, like in the basics sense. But I think each country has a little taste of something that's genuine and individual to them, that people would expect them to have at least a little bit of it when they go on stage. Yeah.
So, Cherish, tell us, you're doing vocal training sessions in Belize. Why did you want to offer this here?
Well, actually, I didn't even think that the opportunity would have come to me.
Yeah.
But from meeting Alexander Evans last year, we met during these same performances that Yui Ascaral and Yui Steele had here last year. And from talking to him, and I think he mentioned my name to his colleagues, and when they were setting up their summer programs, it's like, well, does she want to come? And I was kind of taken aback for a little bit, because I'm like, wow, because this is the first outside of Trinidad project that I've done single-handedly. Right, so I was a little bit anxious, I was a little bit scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what it's gonna be like, because I know I'm accustomed to one barrier of performance with people back home, so I didn't know what to expect when I came here, but the experience is great. Everybody was really receptive to what I was teaching them, and I saw progress from the first day that they came to the last day that we had with that first group of people.
What was the common error you saw?
Breathing.
Breathing. Okay.
Everybody had, and also diction, because I realized that my Trinidadian accent, it wavers, especially according to what area of Trinidad you're from. But everybody more or less has that little rounded Western accent. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like we
Western.
could adapt to the generic Americanized accent then.
Okay.
So if we're singing pop or jazz, you wouldn't hear the Trinidadian accent. As opposed to when I came here, I realized that the Belizean accent is really thick.
Yes.
And
okay.
it's kind of slides into to certain songs. I was like, okay, how am I going to fix this? Because I think when you're here and you sing, everybody understands what you're saying. But I was telling them,
Sometimes.
but I was telling them, if at any point you feel the need, like if you think that you want to take your music to on an international level, everybody needs to understand exactly what you're saying. Like we, Belize, Trinidad, Jamaica, everybody, like little vowel songs like, oh, we say no. But Americans say no. And it rounds off the end. So like those tiny things. So that the diction, breathing especially, was really all over the place, because, not with everybody, because I was explaining to them, like, do you realize whenever your system, your biological system is any form of stress, angry, sad, confused, upset, you just forget to breathe. And I think that a lot of people don't realize that, like those little moments of stress, little moments of being scared, being nervous, like you literally just forget to breathe. Also, when I was working with them with microphones, I told them, you ever realize like sometimes when you're on stage and you let's say the mic is not set in the right place, you will literally start to play with the mic and try to fix it while the audience is watching you, waiting for you to start saying, like little things like that, like things to remember. Like is a lot of stuff to remember, to breathe, remember to warm up, remember to make sure that the mic is fixed, make sure that the batteries are charged, make sure the mic is on before you start singing, and so you wouldn't be messing around with the mic while you're performing. Like those little things.
But some of those things is kind of hard for artists. You already have to deliver. Shouldn't you have like a manager, somebody who's checking the...
You should.
Why does Michael Jackson have to be checking mic?
It should, but I also think that Michael Jackson still used to make sure that his mic was on before he started singing. Because I strongly believe that everybody should have like someone there, like a manager, agent, something, but still, the mic
Nobody takes care of you like you.
The mic is your business. Your
Yeah.
business is the performance. Make sure that your mic is on. Even though you saw somebody check it, still check it and make sure that everything is good.
Yeah.
Have you're here on a Tuesday, and tonight is a huge performance night for vocalists in Belize. There's a competition called KTV Remix. So tonight, will you be watching?
I've been watching.
You've
Yeah.
been watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
She
and-
offered her training to some of the participants.
I am actually training one of the participants right now. I'm not gonna say who,
Yeah, don't.
but I'm not gonna say who, but that individual is working really hard and has been making a lot of progress.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what is your view overall of the quality compared to Trinidad?
Well, we don't. We've
Be
had,
easy.
we've had like 2 stints of competitions like that. It wasn't karaoke based, but it was still covers of songs. And we've had something around the same lines, but it was dance. It was a dance competition. I think the dance competition happens every year. I think that, like, first and foremost, a lot of the people that I've seen perform have some really strong voices. And they really try.
Yeah.
Like, they really perform. But I think, I can't remember the judge name, Mr.
Rosanna
Bradshaw?
Chris. Oh,
Bradshaw?
Chris. Yeah,
Chris. Mr. Chris. I agree with a lot of what he says.
He's a music
Yeah,
teacher.
sometimes
Yeah.
when I say it, and then he
With the
says, I was
degrees,
like, see,
Yeah.
I could have been.
But you see, and I think that's where you've really filled a void, and perhaps why the Bliss sought you out. We don't have opportunities for vocal training, and a
Yeah.
lot of people just have a talent. People tell them they're good, and they keep on pushing. So
Yeah.
we really hope that, well, you're concluding your training at this point, right? Or you have another group starting?
I have another group, but it might be outside of Belize. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Everything isn't solidified yet, but I did leave my contact information
Yeah.
with the Bliss. And whoever still would like to get some vocal training in before I leave,
Yeah.
they could contact them and they'll contact me.
I mean,
and I'll
outside of
make
Belize City or
arrangements.
outside of Belize country?
Oh, Belize City. Sorry.
How much longer are you going to be here?
I'll be here until the last week in August, the 25th.
Okay.
I'll be gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you doing any performances other than your training?
Yes, I am. I'm doing one acoustic session on Friday at Spooner's. And next Friday, I'll be doing a full show at the Bliss. And I'll actually be displaying a couple local performers as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And my final question, because we're actually going to see you perform here, at least we get that opportunity. For the people in Belize who want to pursue singing, and as I pointed out, you know, we have the things like the shows, we have a kids concert coming up, we try to make them practice, but there's really a gap in teaching them how to do it properly. What are some resources that anyone can access to really improve their own performance?
Well, there are a lot of, if the vocal training, I know that the vocal training might be a lot for some people. There are a lot of YouTube tutorials that teach warm-ups. There's this lady, Ann Peckham. I think she's one of the vocal teachers at Berkeley in New York. I've used a lot of her warm-ups and she's really good, as well as little things like for the people that perform. Just find a corner, breathe, do some like humming. Humming helps to warm up your voice really fast, especially when in a situation where you don't have a lot of time to warm up. And as far as pursuing a career, just do it. If you
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, don't overthink it. You don't want to be like 50, 60 years old and then you think it was like, gosh, if I didn't take it, I wonder what would have happened if I did this or did this. Like,
Don't wonder, just try.
Like don't have any what ifs in your life.
Yeah.
Like, even if you try and it doesn't work out, at least you tried.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Can I ask, finally, what's next for you? Where do you go from here?
Well,
School
as
done?
Yeah, school done. School done for like 2 years now.
Oh,
Yeah.
so then what's next?
Yeah. Well, as I said before, I'm with the National Theatre Arts Company. I may be having a show for Christmas back home. I'm not 100% sure yet because I have to check out venues because a lot of new performing arts venues, little small stages are opening up. So I just need to check to make sure my schedule is set. Apart from that, I'm hoping to start doing a lot more vocal workshops back home, as long as time permits. And the company in itself will be doing a lot of performances as well because we're under culture, Ministry of Culture. And it's 3 entities: National Theatre, National Steel Symphony, and National Philharmonic. And normally we have performances throughout the year. So not that I could say which ones, but I know that there's a schedule set up and we will be doing a lot of performances, but yeah.
All right. Well, Cherish, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your skills and talents with our aspiring vocalists as well. And we're going to shift over now to your performance. You'll be doing Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get ready for that. Once again, if you want to find out more, about the upcoming vocal training, you can find it on Facebook under the Institute of Creative Arts page, and get in touch with them if you want to participate. Once again, this is Cherish Latouche. She is visiting from Trinidad, and she'll be closing off this segment with a performance called Fly Me to the Moon.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me know what life is like on Jupiter or Mars. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me know what life is like on Jupiter or Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me play forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me know what life is like on Jupiter or Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. song and let me sing forevermore.